Well, there she is. That's where she likes it, when I'm building me models, just lying on the bed, keeping an eye out, because there's some noise coming from my spray booth. And that is where it's windy outside. Oh, there she goes. Anyway, let's get on with this. I just got this in. Let me point this down here, and as you can see, here it is. It's the Vosper motor torpedo boat from Airfix. Let me just move these out the way, and we'll go through it. Just a second. Move the Spitfire out the way, which I'm working on, and I've got this. Let me just move this around here and make it a little easier for you to see. Okay, right, I got this yesterday in the post. It's one from Airfix itself, and it was the last chance to buy one, and I picked this up for what was it now? I've got it here. It was $6.66 plus a couple of quid VAT. About a tenner, just under a tenner for this, which is a very good price for one of these. There's a nice picture on the front of it. It's only got one colour scheme on this particular one, the grey. And if we have a look inside, we've got the instructions and the decals and some flags. So we'll have a look at those in a bit. And we have a big bag of bits here as well. And I'm looking in here, and there is yes, it is a bagged. They have bagged up the clear parts separately in it, so we'll have a look at the parts in a minute. Let me just put that to one side, and we'll have a look at the instructions. Get them out. I'm going to start with the instructions. It's a 1/72 scale model. You've got a bit of bump here about it, engines and all the length and all that sort of thing. Your safety instructions. You've got your guide legend for the actual instructions themselves, and we'll start with number 1. Now, put the hull together, which I would normally do, but I would leave the clear parts out and use crystal clear after I've painted the hull. It's just my way of doing them. I think it'll be better that way. Again, number 2, the clear glass would be left off until after I've painted it, because I can turn it upside down and get to the glazing on the inside, or use crystal clear afterwards. They're small enough to do that with. The gun here, as you can see, it's a nice gun. It's a good little model on its own. So carry on. It's starting to get very busy now. All the parts going on the deck, which is parts 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8 are all deck parts to go on, and there's a lot of them. I would suggest actually building all the boxes, painting them, because they're grey on the outside, the side pieces, and green on the top. The same with the deck was green. Paint the deck, do all the pick out all the details like the gaffs here and all that sort of thing, which are on the deck. All the bits that need to be painted on the deck, pick them out before putting anything else on here. Then building all the stuff ready to go onto the deck, painting it, get them all finished first up to this stage, and then put them all on in one go after the deck has dried. That's the easiest way of doing it. The propeller shafts and all that here, it's hard to say whether to put them on first. I'm used to stand, or leave them off until the very last. But then again, if you do that, you've got small parts on this side you've got to try and protect while you put this on. So it might be better to do this first and then put all the deck parts on. The last thing is, of course, we've got the people to go on here as well, the crew, on number 11. That's about it for the instructions. Not too much, and it's the old type of instructions as well on this. So that's the Vosper torpedo boat instructions. We'll just have a look at these things here now. We've got a set of flags here, signal flags, and the British flag to go on the rear of it. You do Union Jack, which got to go on the back of it. I've got to keep remembering that, because that is the Union Jack, not this bit here. That's not the Union Jack. This whole flag's the Union Jack. So make sure you get it right when somebody's asking you about it. Anyway, the other parts here are decals, which are the numbers. The 38 is for all the boats, I believe. Well, for this particular one set. Then you could put 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9 on the end of this, making a triple number up. But it doesn't tell you what boat has which number. I've had a look through and I couldn't see it. It doesn't say anything about the numbers, and I've looked on the instructions as well. There is nothing else on here about the numbers. It's just got on here. It's got 38 and then put one of these numbers at the end of it, and that is all it says about it. So I might have to go online to check out the numbers. So that's the decals. And the the flags, by the way, these being the new ones now are actually plasticky or shiny paper, sticky backed, where originally they were just paper. You used the whitewood glue to fold them over onto cotton threads and then put them onto the model itself. So we'll leave that there. Now we'll get the big bag of bits out. Okay, so as you can see, I haven't opened this one yet. Haven't even taken the pictures of the sprues yet. I will do that, and I'll put them on the end of the this video. Right, to take this out first, so come out the deck first. And I have noticed something different with this. The last time I've done one of these, I don't remember these being on it. Mind you, they may have been. Well, they may be new additions to the mould. Anyway, the deck here has got a lot of marks on it because of these bars going across it. They've got sink marks going across. Now, I don't know whether that will affect the painting of it. I'll have to check it, but there is the marks going across here. Every place there is a mark going across. There's a flow mark there, which shouldn't make any difference. Another mark across here, and across here at the back. This one is quite deep. This one will have to be done. It's a deep mark on this side, a real good sink mark. And the other ones, I can see the marks going across, but they're very light. Primer might take care of those. But this back one is so deep. It is really deep. I don't know whether you can see it there. And there's a couple other sink marks in here as well, where this pin mark is here as a sink mark. Like I said, this is an old tooling. It's not a new one, so we have to give it that because it is the old one. And we'll take these out of the bag now, the rest of these pieces, and have a look, see what we've actually got in here. Right, just check the bag, make sure there's nothing in the bag, because bits do come off with these when they're all in the bag like this. Oh, there it is. See, there's one bit. Nothing else in there, but I'll keep that bag because I'm going to put the parts back in for now. There'll be a little time before I get this built. Clear parts, typically old clear parts, they're not that clear. Right there, it's a 72nd scale model, so you wouldn't see much inside anyway. Having a look at some of these sprues now, I'm looking at this one and there's quite a bit of flash on this. Big mould line. Actually, no flash, it's just a mould line, sorry. It's just a mould line on that one. This one's got the crew on it. And typical 72nd scale crew. They look alright, and you won't see much detail on them anyway. Not unless you go really in close with a magnifying glass. Again, here we got the whole base. pin marks on the inside, 1971, you see, so it's quite old. There's flow marks in this, but it looks okay. There's some markings on here. I don't know whether they're scratches or no, that's a bit of an indentation there. But this is all going to have a good old scrubbing before I paint it. Looking at it, there is quite a bit of there's a few marks on here and a few indentations and sink marks, like just where these pins are, just here on the other side, the sink marks. We can deal with all these though. They're not a big problem. I'm niggling at it. I am niggling at it. Again, on the other side, a couple of sink marks, a little bit of sanding work to get the nose down. Again, on the transom, we've got a big sink mark on the end of the piece where the transom goes, because we've got a bar on the inside of here, and it's got a little bit of a sink mark on the outside, which will be seen. So, a little bit of filler that will go. And we'll have a look at this one here. This is the cabin. The outside of the cabin looks okay. The vents look good on this. I remember they weren't as sharp before, but I think they may have gone into the mould and sharpened some of these up sometime in the past. There is a pin mark here. Again, I'm not sure whether that will show, but it's on this piece here. I can't remember whether the cabin goes on the inside or the outside of this piece here, but it's going to have to clean this up because it will interfere with the fit. This side's fine, it's just this side. Transom looks fine. Again, a few little marks on the back, but I think it'll be fine. I don't think there'll be anything wrong with that. The flag case has got some, flag cabinet has got some flash around it, not a great deal. Stanchions, again, these are ones I'm going to have to replace with brass. They are very thin. They've got quite a mould line round the outside. The propellers, again, there's pin marks on each of the propellers. They're going to have to be sanded off. Actually, looking at it, some of it's going to have some filler put on before sanding off, so I'll do it all in one go. And the stand also needs a bit of sanding off because it's got pin marks on one side of it, but not a lot. Again, very easy to be dealt with. So we've got one box here to come off somewhere. Again, the edges need sanding flush. It's got a bit of a hockey stick type at the bottom end. Again, this ring here I would replace with brass wire and onto the brass stanchions, so it's a nice strong piece on there. This is going to be the problem. On the paint scheme, it's light grey up to here, dark grey here, and dark grey on the top. So we've got to try and get the light grey on the inside of this. Again, it's one of these things where I think we're going to have to put it together first, spray it all light grey, and then try and mask up the light grey. Yeah, I just mask up the light grey along here, and sorry, am I in shot? Along here, and then spray it with dark grey on top of it. Either way, it's awkward. Again, flash it on this. There's not much flash on this at all. There's quite a heavy mould line in places, but nothing that can't be dealt with. A little bit of flash on these pieces here, they're the torpedo ends that go into here, so that won't be too much trouble. They'll cut them off, they'll put it in. Alright. No, they seem to be fine. They seem to be fine, apart from the mold line. The last tree on here is the front cabin. Looks okay. Might need a bit of attention just down the edge here where it looks like there's a sink mark. Top of the cabin, there's a few bits of plastic that are on it, and there's a couple of pin marks to be done as well. But again, I'm niggling, not that much. There's a bit of a bent piece there, so I'm gonna have to I'll try and straighten that out now on the aerial. That one and that one. That straightened it out. Having a look at this, there's a few pin marks on the inside of most of the stuff, but we won't see it. There is no sorry, I was out of shot there a bit again. Again, these will have to be thinned out. These vents here, they're too thick, they're far too thick. But that's easy enough done. Bits and pieces to do on it, not too bad. Again, I think we're going to have to get a profile for this. Actually, I might have one somewhere. I think I have. We'll have a look on that and see how all these boxes are arranged on the deck, and make sure the top of the boxes of them are correct as well. So that is the Vosper parts. Not too bad. I've niggled a little bit at it, you know, with this, that and the other. The worst piece is the actual deck itself. As I said, there's a big sink mark across the back transom end of the deck with this piece here. It's a big sink mark there, and it will have to be filled. Trouble is, there's a lot of little detail around it as well, so we'll have to go very careful with that. On it, there's little hatchways here. I didn't remember these, but then again, it's a long time since I built one of these ones. So there we have it. Not too bad. Vespa patrol boat. So hope you enjoyed this. I haven't pulled the pants off yet, and for the price, absolutely marvellous for the price at the moment. As I said, on Airfix, it's last chance to buy. I don't know how many there'll be on now or how many's left, but the number is A05280, 72nd scale Vosper motor Torpedo boat, and should be in people's collections. If you like boats, this one should be in there. I'm going to say that's it for the Airfix Vosper motor Torpedo boat, and hope to see you all again. And just to reiterate something, it's still there on the bed, isn't it? Oh yes, look at that, what a face. Oh dear, what are you doing? Hey, oh what a stretch. Look, she's having a look, isn't she? Oh, you silly old thing, isn't she? Oh yes, yeah. So likes a bit of attention. So from me, it's goodbye. From Mrs. K, it's goodbye. See you all soon. Keep up the modelling. Goodbye for now.